Hé, Paul, ça va?
Salut, ça va bien, merci. Et toi?
Ça va très bien.
You sound pretty excited, Estelle.
I am super excited. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite things.
A whole lesson about me? We don't have to do that.
No, Paul. We're going to talk about shopping for food.
Okay, that works too.
So let's say I want to buy something à la boulangerie.
You could say something like, Je voudrais une baguette, s'il vous plaît, to order a baguette.
Right. But what if I first want to know how much it costs?
Well, first we need to know how to say how much. In French, that's combien.
Combien? The first part of this word, con, has the same sound as in bonjour.
And the second part sounds exactly the same as bien from ça va bien. Combien?
Combien? Next, we want to know how to say costs. That's coûte in French. Coûte.
Coûte.
All set to try it? Repeat after me. Combien? Combien?
Okay, we'll turn off grading for now, but you can still follow along.
Coûte. Let's put it together. Let's say I want to know how much a baguette costs. I'd say, combien coûte une baguette?
Or a croissant. Combien coûte un croissant?
You got it.
Excusez-moi, combien coûte une baguette? Et combien coûte un croissant?
You might be wondering how the baker would answer the man's question, but we'll get to that in a bit.
Yes. For now, let's talk about how to ask about more than one of something, like les croissants.
Because you can't just have one croissant.
Exactly. If we want to ask about several croissants instead of un croissant, we'll say les croissants. Combien coûtent les croissants?
So whether we're asking for one or more than one, you can hear that the pronunciation of coûte and croissant doesn't change. Let's hear it again. For one croissant. Combien coûte un croissant?
And for more than one, combien coûtent les croissants? Here, coûte ends in ENT, and croissant ends in S.
But we don't pronounce those letters at the end, which we know sometimes happens in French. The only way to tell if someone is talking about one or more than one croissant is to pay attention to whether they say un or les.
Right. This is similar to how we say j'ai un bagage if we have one piece of luggage, and j'ai des bagages if we have more than one.
Excusez-moi, combien coûte un croissant?
S'il vous plaît, combien coûtent les pizzas?
Okay, ready? Repeat after me. Coûte. Combien coûte? Combien coûte un croissant? Combien coûtent les croissants? So now we can ask how much something costs,
For example, combien coûte un croissant?
or combien coûtent les croissants?
In the next lesson, we'll learn how the baker may answer these questions.
Can't wait. Last time we learned how to ask the price of something with combien coûte,
Oui, combien coûte un croissant?
and we learned that this sounds almost the same when we're asking about more than one thing.
Like in combien coûtent les croissants?
Excusez-moi, combien coûte un café?
S'il vous plaît, combien coûtent les pizzas?
Now it's time to learn what an answer to these questions might sound like.
If a coffee costs €1, you'll hear un café coûte €1.
Which means one coffee costs €1.
In euro, notice how you can hear the same sound as in je and that French r sound that comes from the back of the throat. Euro. Un café coûte €1.
And listen to the liaison between un and euro. Un euro.
€1. Now let's hear a dialogue where the baker answers the customer's question.
Bonjour madame.
Bonjour. Combien coûte un café?
Un café coûte 1 euro.
Parfait. Un café, s'il vous plaît.
Your turn to practice. Repeat after me. Euro. Un euro. Un café coûte 1 euro. You'll probably hear questions and answers about how much something costs in lots of places, like at a farmer's market.
I love farmers markets. So what do I need to know when shopping for some fruit? Bananas, for example, my favorite food.
First, you need to know how to say bananas or the bananas. That's les bananes.
Les bananes. Remember to say les and not la when talking about more than one banane.
Let's head to the market and listen to some French speakers.
Bonjour. Combien coûtent les bananes?
Une banane coûte 1 euro.
Give it a go. Repeat after me. Les bananes. Combien coûtent les bananes? And if I want to know the price of my favorite food, tomatoes, I'd ask about les tomates.
Les tomates.
Let's try that one too. Repeat after me. Les tomates. Combien coûtent les tomates?
Excusez-moi, combien coûtent les tomates?
Les tomates coûtent 1 euro le kilo.
Did you catch that tomatoes cost €1 le kilo?
Yes. Things like tomatoes may not be sold individually like croissants or pizzas. You may have to buy them by le kilo.
So what is le kilo?
Well, kilo is a word you might have also heard in English. It's short for kilogram, which is used in the metric system.
And for those of us who are used to using pounds, a kilogram is about 2.2 pounds.
Yep. So when the vendor says un euro le kilo, that means €1 per kilo. Your turn to practice. Repeat after me. Le kilo. Un euro le kilo. So we've talked a lot about things like un croissant or un euro.
And we learned how to ask about the price of certain things like les bananes. Combien coûtent les bananes?
Finally, we know that in farmers' markets in France, we may hear things that are sold by le kilo.
Let's hear a conversation that puts all of this together one more time.
Bonjour.
Bonjour madame.
Combien coûtent les bananes?
Une banane coûte 1 euro.
Merci. Et les tomates? Combien coûtent les tomates?
Les tomates coûtent 1 euro le kilo.
Amazing. Now we're all set to ask for the price of les baguettes or les tomates at the market.
See you for the next lesson where we'll be paying another visit to the farmer's market. Au revoir.
We're back at the farmer's market, and we've already learned how to ask for the price of something.
Like combien coûtent les bananes?
We've also learned that you can buy certain items at the market by le kilo.
Yes, while you're shopping, you might hear les tomates coûtent 1 € le kilo.
Excusez-moi, combien coûtent les bananes et les tomates?
Une banane coûte 1 € et les tomates coûtent 2 € le kilo.
How much did the vendor say tomatoes cost?
2 € le kilo. 2 euros for a kilo. Deux here means 2.
So if something costs 2 euros per kilo, that's 2 euros le kilo.
2 € le kilo. Let's hear it again.
Excusez-moi, combien coûtent les tomates?
2 € le kilo.
Did you hear it?
What?
The liaison.
We can never escape the liaison.
Yes. De is actually spelled with a silent letter X at the end. But when we add a vowel sound after it, like in euro, we end up with a liaison that has a Z sound. 2 euros.
2 euros.
Now you try. Repeat after me. 2. Deux baguettes. Deux euros. So we know we might hear les tomates coûtent 2 euros le kilo at the farmer's market. Now let's talk about how to order 1 kilo of something.
So if you want a kilo of tomatoes, it's actually pretty simple. You'd say,
Un kilo de tomates. 1 kilo of tomatoes.
de here means of. De.
Deux.
Un kilo de tomates. 1 kilo of tomatoes.
Okay, your turn. Repeat after me. 2. Un kilo de. Un kilo de tomates. Okay, so maybe I decided to go to a fancier market. At this market, it's not 2 euros le kilo for tomatoes, but 3 euros for a kilo.
Pretty overpriced, but okay.
So we might hear 3 euros le kilo. 3 means 3. 3.
3. So 3 euros le kilo is 3 euros for a kilo.
Excusez-moi, combien coûtent les tomates?
3 € le kilo.
Très bien, je voudrais 1 kilo de tomates, s'il vous plaît.
Are you ready to practice? Repeat after me. 3. 3 euros. Okay, how would we say 4 euros?
Did the price of tomatoes go up again? We should probably try a different market. 4 euros is 4 euros.
4 euros. And how about 5?
5 is 5. So 5 euros is 5 euros.
5. 5 euros. Now you practice how to say 4 and 5 in French. Repeat after me. 4. 4 euros. 5. 5 euros.
Now let's hear everything we've learned in the past couple lessons.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, combien coûtent les bananes?
2 bananes coûtent 1 euro.
Ah, je voudrais 4 bananes s'il vous plaît. Et combien coûtent les tomates?
3 € le kilo.
Je voudrais 1 kilo de tomates s'il vous plaît.
Très bien. 5 € s'il vous plaît.
Voici, merci.
De rien. Au revoir.
Great! Hopefully you got all of that.
Now you're ready to shop at a market, but maybe stay away from the expensive tomatoes.
We'll see you again soon. Au revoir.
À bientôt!
At this point, we know lots of things that will help us out during a visit to a farmer's market.
Now let's listen to a conversation you might hear at the market.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, combien coûtent les tomates?
Les tomates coûtent 1 euro le kilo.
Je voudrais 2 kilos de tomates, s'il vous plaît.
Très bien. 2 euros, s'il vous plaît.
Voici. Merci.
De rien. Au revoir.
Are you ready to do some shopping?
Picture it. It's a warm, sunny Saturday morning, and you're getting ready for a dinner party at your appartement tonight. You decide to make a trip to your local farmer's market to grab some fresh ingredients.
You spot a stand with some juicy tomatoes and they look perfect for tonight's dinner.
You walk up to the stand. What should you ask the vendor?
Well, you should start by saying hello, and then maybe you can ask how much these tomatoes cost.
Great idea. Say, hello, how much do the tomatoes cost? In French. Parfait. Bonjour, combien coûtent les tomates?
The vendor says,
Les tomates coûtent 1 euro le kilo.
That's pretty cheap. Since you're cooking for a dinner party, you'll need to buy a lot of tomatoes to feed all your guests.
tell the vendor I would like 3 kilos of tomatoes in French. Super, je voudrais 3 kilos de tomates.
Looking at all of this food is making you hungry.